Hey guys, it's me, Dylan, or you better know me as DJ. Uh, yeah, it's like the Amazing Gamer DJ MC here. Anyway, this video is the review on Spider-Man from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy movies, the first one. One time of the film, 2 hours, 1 minute, and 11 seconds, not too bad. Basically, this in the 90s cartoon solidified my bond to Spider-Man. In other words, like why I like the character so much. Because I have rewatched this movie a lot, and if you guys remember my review of the 1994 animated series of the DVD things I had that had a compilation of episodes for a certain character. Basically, that show and this one just solidified my love for Spider-Man. But like I rewatched this both on DVD and VHS countless of times. I will say though, Sam Raimi knew how to direct Spider-Man in this movie, and then of course in Spider-Man 2. Like, these are one of his greatest movies. Spider-Man 3 is like 50-50. But here's the interesting thing though. Before this movie came out, while it was still in production, they were still trying to do the whole idea of a concept that we see Peter make the web shooters, the mechanical versions. Because before Sony got the rights to Spider-Man, there was a chance of it coming out in live action during the, I would like to say somewhere around 1970s to 80s era, just a guess. And I think it was, James Cameron's version of Spider-Man. It was supposed to be a little different. The interesting thing though is that Sam Raimi borrowed the idea from a cancellation Spider-Man movie. So we know in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, or better known as Peter 2's Spider-Man trilogy movies, or better yet, we might as well call this the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man trilogy, because that's how people label Tobey's Peter Parker Spider-Man. But we all know in this movie trilogy, Peter has organic web shooters. And believe it or not, because I watched this at a young age, I always assume in the comics, Peter had the organic web shooters, not the mechanicals. So I just want to get that out of the way. The actors in here are great, and also it felt a little nice to nostalgia to rewatch it again. Also, I want to point this out before I get to the movie itself, but a lot of people who probably don't know this, but some of the actors that we see in the first movie are dead. One of the actors recently passed away this year. I can't remember the names well, but the people I'm listing off is the person who played Peter's Uncle Ben in the movie. He passed away a couple of years ago. The actor who played Robbie Robinson is dead. And I know that the actress who played Aunt May is still alive. She's actually 97. Let's see, who else? Oh, one of the Oscorp Born member actors passed away recently this year. He was the guy with the white hair with the glasses who tell Norman, "You're out, Norman." If you guys know who I'm talking about, feel free to put it in the comments. I will say though, I find it was odd though to see a 20-year-old pretend to be a teenager in this trilogy. Don't get me wrong, Tobey did an amazing job both as Peter and Spider-Man. So like, he'll probably always be my favorite live-action Spider-Man. And let's see. I should mention something. And during the makings of the first film, originally the Green Goblin outfit was gonna be still like live action, but it was gonna look more comic book based like they had, how should I say, electronic goblin that looked like straight up from the comics, but the problem is people thought this might scare the children, so that's why the Green Goblin looks like how he is in the movie, just wearing a green armor suit thing, whatever it is. William Dafoe as the Green Goblin, perfect choice, and honestly scares the hell out of me, and it was still surprising him reprising the role in Spider-Man No Way Home, which I will get to that when I review that version when I get it onto YouTube. Because I'm doing this on YouTube, I might as well just get the stuff on YouTube to do the reviews. Yes, I could do the physical copies, but if I have them ready to go on YouTube, might as well use them. Am I right? Let's see. I would say though that Sam Raimi know how to develop the characters in the films, because we have Tobey Maguire as Peter Parker Spider-Man, Kristen Dunst as Mary Jane Watson. That's why we don't see Gwen Stacy not until the third film, actually. But mostly, in all three of the films, she is the main love interest for Peter Parker Spider-Man in this version. So there's that. And then we got James Franco being Harry Osborn, who later in Spider-Man 3 will become the new Goblin. Sam Raimi knew how to tell Peter's origin story very good, and the wrestling match was even cooler. Especially, I like the human spider outfit design. That looked like something homemade Peter can definitely do. Let's see. Oh, I should mention this. J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. Perfect casting, too. Like, he nails the fucking character to a T. Let's see here. If I say rate the movie, I would give this a 10 out of 10, because if it wasn't for this Spider-Man movie, I don't think we would have superhero movies to this day. Now, don't get me wrong, we got superhero stuff in the past, but keep in mind, that was in the late 90s era of television. We never even got movies besides maybe the Incredible Hulk TV show getting a couple of movies, actually, now that I think about it. Because there was one where that TV show of the Hulk got a team up with Thor, Daredevil, and then it had a finale where the character dies, which was OZ for Marvel back then. But at this time, Marvel was at the point of being bankruptcy at that point. Let's see. Actually, when I first saw the full Spider-Man suit, I for some reason thought his costume was red and black, because the blue looked a bit too dark in the movie. Like, it kind of looked more black than blue. Let's see, what else? It does show how Peter is trying to handle the responsibility of being a superhero and being the person that people rely on him for, because as his Uncle Ben told him, with great power comes great responsibility. And I like that Peter tries to live up to his uncle, what that quote means to him. Let's see. It has a good couple of like drama scenes, but not like too boring to like not get fooled. Besides, this movie is mostly action. Anyway, in the movie, Spider-Man encounters the Green Goblin at least 3 times in the movie. The first time is at the Oscorp Unis Day Festival, and that was their first encounter, and Spider-Man never thought he would go against someone that could match him in strength or could be stronger. Let me know in the comments, how much does the Goblin serum enhance the physical body of the person that takes the serum? Please and thank you. But also keep in mind, Spider-Man is still pointing his punches. Like, even when he fights sometimes a supervillain with powers that could be close to his, Peter will still pull some of his strength so he doesn't kill them or knocks their jaw clean off. Let's see. The second time Peter encountered the Green Goblin was in that burning building, and Green Goblin decided to lure Spider-Man to try to see what his answer was, because earlier in the film, he attacks the Daily Bugle to ask Jameson who takes the pictures of Spider-Man. Keep in mind here, we also see the psyche between Norman and Green Goblin, because it looks like they are 2 different personalities. Like, Green Goblin does not have access to what Norman knows, and that goes vice versa. Like, I'm going to mention more in No Way Home, but in this video, like, for example, during the scene where Norman's trying to hide the Goblin glider, Norman thought he was still in his universe, but Green Goblin knew better. Green Goblin knew they were in a different universe, but Norman didn't want to hear it. Now, the final time Spider-Man vs. the Green Goblin happens, basically, they also did a reference of the night Gwen Stacy died, like MJ being held prisoner, or not held prisoner, like being up high on the George Washington Bridge. You know, watch that after I'm done with this video. Come on. Wasn't done. Just look right there. But yeah, the Goblin's plan was trying to tire Spider-Man out. He even technically attacked Aunt May by just scaring her, so she ends up in the hospital, and Peter now realizes that Green Goblin now knows who Spider-Man is. This happens during the Thanksgiving scene. Which actually, this is the only superhero movie that shows like a holiday in a movie. I mean, technically you also got the Batman showing Halloween. But like, for the longest time, I think Spider-Man was the only movie that shows like holidays. Well, then again, Iron Man 3, there was Christmas and New Year's, so there's that. But, yeah, so Green Goblin's plan was to tire Spider-Man out and then kill him because Peter did not want to join him because he does not want to hurt innocent people and be a murderer. So, yeah, there's that. And Green Goblin almost completely had the upper hand on Spider-Man until to the point where he threatened to do something to Mary Jane. From the way how William Dafoe does the Goblin voice, it almost sounded like he was going to, how should I say, maybe rape her in a way. Because the way the tone of the voice kind of give me the vibes of a rapist. And of course, this is where I keep pointing out when I'm talking to my friends, and basically in any Spider-Man media, if you try to push the hero to their limits and get them to the point where they get pissed off, you are royally screwed and fucked, because that means Peter was now back to basically full strength by his rage boost. Also, he was not pulling back. He was using full power of his ability. And Green Goblin couldn't believe how much stronger Spider-Man was when he was pissed off. So as his last trump card, he decides to basically go back to Norman, trying to convince Peter to stop before it goes too far, and distract Peter long enough so the Goblin can impale him with his glider. But of course, Peter Spider-Sense warns him the danger. He moves out of the way, and then he gets killed by his own weaponry. Ain't that a comment of the bitch to you, Green Goblin? But, yeah, Peter is devastated because now he needs to figure out how to tell Harry how his father died. But after he delivers the dead body to the Oscorp residence, or Osborn, not Oscorp, sorry. But basically, Harry sees Spider-Man hovering over his dead father's body, and he doesn't like Spider-Man. Basically, at the end, he even tells Peter to his face, I vow Spider-Man will pay. So, like, he's got to seek vengeance against Spider-Man. Let's see. And MJ, at the end, she tells Peter what was going through her mind when she thought she was going to die, and the only person she was thinking of was Peter. Throughout the entirety of the movie, MJ did not end up with Peter at all, but Peter chooses not to be with her to protect her because of him being Spider-Man. And we'll get into more of that when we get to Spider-Man 2, the extended version, because that's probably the better version of the review. But actually, before that, like I said, after I do Spider-Man 1, or Spider-Man 2002, or Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man the movie, whatever you guys want to call it. In fact, that's what we should also call the Sam Raimi trilogy, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man trilogy, because keep in mind, when it comes to Funko Pops, they label Sam Raimi's Spider-Man as Your Friendly Neighborhood. We will have Spider-Man the New Animated Series, because this series takes, like, the whole first episode actually starts off after the events of the first movie. But I'm just gonna say this though, when I do review it, I'm gonna say that the episodes they have in order here is actually the wrong order, because I will show the physical copy of the series I have on DVD in the series review, and that I will even show the Ultimate Spider-Man Marathon playlist, because I actually decided to put the episodes in order of how the DVD did it. And I will explain to that as soon when I do the review. But yeah, I give Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1 10 out of 10 because it's the first ever live-action Spider-Man movie, because it does a decent job on his origin story. So, yes. So after I'm done with Spider-Man the new anime series, I only have Spider-Man 2 extended version and then Spider-Man 3 editor cut. Like I said, I do plan on doing Spectacular seasons 1 and 2, the Amazing Spider-Man movie series, both 2001 and 2, the MCU Spider-Man Home Trilogy, and then the Spider-Verse films, including the short film, and I will throw in the Disney Plus new Spider-Man cartoon show, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the first season. Because we do have to wait for next year for season 2, and then 2027 for season 3. Oh, I should mention this. Speaking of the Spider-Verse movie, it got delayed again. It's still coming out in 2027, don't worry. In fact, it's still coming out the same month that it got announced, but instead of June 4th, it got pushed back to June 25th, which is not that bad if you think about it. It could have been worse. But, yeah, we're still getting Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse in June of 2027. It's just gonna take a couple more weeks now. But, we still gotta wait technically 2 years, because we're still in 2025. But, yeah, that's why I think of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1. Still, this is one of my favorite superhero movies of Spider-Man, and it still will be. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the film, like what was your thoughts and reactions to it, stuff like that. Actually, I'm not gonna say, I'm just gonna say this. William Dafoe's Green Goblin does give me the creeps, because I'm not gonna lie, when I was a little kid, I keep having fucking nightmares of that version of the Green fucking Goblin. Like, every time I went to sleep as a little kid, I just had nightmares of that green-looking motherfucker. And that just shows how well William Dafoe does an amazing job. In fact, the crazy part is, William Dafoe did most of his stunts in the movie, as well in No Way Home. And what's even crazier, he is almost 70 years old, ladies and gentlemen. That crazy-looking motherfucker is almost 70. So, yeah. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1, or Spider-Man 2002, or I, as I'm now calling it, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I give it a 10 out of 10. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Anyway, have a nice day.